Welcome to today's lesson in physics. Today we are discussing worked out examples from the textbook, that is from chapter 8 electromagnetic waves. Example 8.2. A plane electromagnetic wave of frequency 25 megahertz travels in free space along the x direction. At a particular point in space and time, E is equal to 6.3 J volt per meter. What is B at this point? So, in the case of an EM wave, its frequency is given 25 megahertz. And at a particular point, E is given, you are asked to find B. So, here we can use the relation between E and B. Though we set C is equal to E0 by B0, it is the same as E by B. So, B is equal to E by C. Substituting the values, we will get 2.1 into 10 raised to minus 8 Tesla. And to know the direction, because E is given in terms of direction also, J cap it is given, it means that E is in positive y direction. And it's given the wave is traveling in positive x direction. So what will be the direction of magnetic field B? To find the direction of magnetic field B, we can use the logic that the direction of propagation of wave, electromagnetic wave, is in the direction of E cross B. So here E is in J cap direction, cross dash, we don't know what is the direction of magnetic field. That is equal to, it's given electromagnetic wave, it's traveling in x direction. So we take it to be positive x direction. If it is negative x direction, it will be mentioned clearly. So here that direction, it is I cap. So J cross dash equal to I cap. So the only possibility is K cap. J cross K is I. So it means that the direction of magnetic field is in positive z direction. So B can be written as 2.1 into 10 raised to minus 8 K Tesla. Now coming to example 8.3. The magnetic field in a plane electromagnetic wave is given by By is equal to 2 into 10 raised to minus 7 sine 0.5 into 10 cube x plus 1.5 into 10 raised to 11 t Tesla. What is the wavelength and frequency of the wave? And write the expression for electric field. That's what it is given. So to find wavelength and frequency, we can compare the given equation with the equation which we learned. The general expression we learned, that general expression is By is equal to, B0 sine kx minus omega t. This is the general expression. By is equal to B0 sine kx minus omega t. Then you compare term by term. You are asked to find wavelength and frequency. So when you compare the argument of sine, this is the argument of sine. In the place of k, you have 0. So k you will be getting 0.5 into 10 cube, just to make term by term comparison. From that you can write the value of k. Similarly, omega, so you can put plus here, it means that it is traveling in negative x direction. Okay, so omega equal to 1.5 into 10 raised to 11. These two things we can directly write by comparison. So if you know the value of k, you will easily get lambda, because k is equal to, we know k is equal to 2 pi by lambda. So lambda equal to 2 pi by k. Similarly, omega equal to 2 pi nu. So, nu equal to 2 pi by omega. Likewise, you can find the values of wavelength and frequency. So, by finding the wavelength and frequency, we are getting it as 1.26 centimeter and frequency as 23.9 gigahertz. So, you will be getting 23.9 into 10 raised to 9. Capital letter G stands for giga. Giga means 10 raised to 9. Now, second question is to write an expression for electric field. So, when we write the expression for electric field, in that equation, that time dependent term, that means that sign term remains the same. So, from this onwards it is same. Actually, unit is not the same, unit is different. So, this sign term will be the same. The only difference is this you have to replace with the E0. So, in this equation you have to find E0. You know E0 equal to, or E0 by B0 equal to C. So, E0 equal to B0 into C. You will get 6 into 10 raised to 1, that means 60 volt per meter. The rest remains the same. Sign term you can write the same argument. So, you will get the expression for what electric field as Ez is equal to 60 sine 0.5 into 10 cube x plus 1.5 into 10 raised to 11 t. How we get z, Ez? That also is there because here it's given the wave is traveling in negative x direction, and as I said, the direction of propagation of wave is in the direction of E cross B. Okay, so here electric field we don't know, so that is dash, and magnetic field is in y direction. Y direction means j cap, and the direction of propagation of wave is minus I cap because it is that kx plus omega t. It shows a wave which is propagating in negative x direction. So, minus I cap it should be. So, here in the place of dash it should be k cross j. That means here it should be k. Then only k cross j will give you minus I cap. It means that electric field is in positive z direction. So, that is how we write Ez is equal to. Okay. Now, moving on to fourth question. Light with an energy flux of 18 watt per centimeter square falls on a non-reflecting surface at normal incidence. If the surface has an area of 20 centimeter square, find the average force exerted on the surface during a 30-minute time span. So, here energy flux means intensity. Energy flux means intensity. That means energy falling per unit area per unit time. That is 18 watt per centimeter square. And it is falling on a non-reflecting surface means their complete absorption is taking place. So, when light falls on a surface, complete absorption, that is the meaning of the word non-reflecting surface. No light is getting reflected, the whole light is getting absorbed. If the surface has an area is given, you are asked to find the average force exerted on the surface during 30-minute time span. So, to find the force exerted, first we have to find momentum delivered. We know for complete absorption, the expression for momentum delivered is U by C, where U is the total energy striking the surface. So, first we need to find that total energy striking the surface. So, it's given energy flux, that means energy per unit area per unit time. So, we have to multiply that energy flux with area and time. So, area is given 20 centimeters square and time it is 30 minutes. Since energy flux is given in 15 watt per centimeter square. So we don't need to convert the unit there for this flux and for area. We can keep the unit as such, and minute we need to convert to second. So the expression for total energy falling on the surface, it becomes 18 into 20 into 30 into 60. So we get it to be 6.48 into 10 raised to 5 joule. So that is total energy falling. So momentum delivered, it becomes that U by C. So we will get 2.16 into 10 raised to minus 3 kilogram meter per second. So if you have momentum delivered, we can find the force, because we know the force, that is from Newton's second law, rate of change of momentum is force. So we can use that expression F is equal to dP by dt or simply P by T. So substituting, we get 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 6 Newton. And here one question is given: how will your result be modified if the surface is a perfect reflector? If the surface is a perfect reflector, we know the whole light will be reflected and the change in momentum will be twice the earlier one. That means instead of U, you will have change in momentum as 2U. So 2U by C will be the momentum, and therefore force also will be getting multiplied by 2. That means it will be 2 into 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 6 Newton, or 2.4 into 10 raised to minus 6 Newton. It's because of the reason for perfect reflector, the change in momentum becomes twice. Now coming to example 8.5. Calculate the electric and magnetic fields produced by the radiation coming from a 100-watt bulb at a distance of 3 meters. Assume that the efficiency of the bulb is 2.5% and it is a point source. So in this question, the bulb is acting as a point source and it radiates light in all directions uniformly. And we are asked to find the electric field at a distance 3 meters. So electric and magnetic field at a distance 3 meters. So with the bulb at the center, we can assume one spherical surface with the bulb at the center whose radius is 3 meters. So at that point, what is the electric field and magnetic field? That's what we need to find. So on the surface of that sphere whose radius is 3 meters with the bulb at the center, we can find the intensity of light from the given data, because it's given 100-watt bulb with 2.5 efficiency, 2.5% efficiency. So at 3 meter distance, what will be the intensity of light reaching? That we can calculate. So first we are doing that part. So at 3 meter distance, the surface area of that sphere, imaginary sphere whose radius is 3 meter, it is 4 pi r square, that is 113 meter square. Now we can find the intensity of light reaching that distance. Energy per unit time is power. So intensity becomes power by area. Now thinking about power, it's given 100-watt bulb with 2.5% efficiency. So output power will be 100 into 2.5%, means 100 into 2.5 by 100, that is 2.5. So intensity becomes 2.5 by 113 meter square, that is 0.022 watt per meter square. That is the intensity of light at that distance 3 meter. Now this intensity is shared equally by electric field and magnetic field. So half the intensity is due to electric field and half the intensity is due to magnetic field. So using that idea and taking the equation for intensity in terms of electric field, we can write half I is equal to half epsilon 0 E RMS square into C, and that is the same as half into 0.022. So rearranging that equation, we will get E RMS as 2.9 volt per meter. Getting E RMS, we can find the maximum value, that is amplitude of electric field, as E0 equal to root 2 into E RMS. So we will have 4.07 volt per meter. So electric field we got. Now to find magnetic field, it is very easy. We can use the equation E0 by B0 equal to C. From that we will get both BRMS and B0. BRMS is 9.6 into 10 raised to minus 9 Tesla, and B0 is 1.4 into 10 raised to minus 8 Tesla. With that, we conclude today's lesson. Thank you.